I'm still struggling with all this fancy new technology. Am I on now? Have you got me?
I've got you. We've got you live.
All right. That's scary on a Saturday morning.
Oh, I had to get up and put my makeup on. You're good.
I had to wait up till 4:30 this morning when my fiance arrived.
Oh my goodness.
All right, there we're doing it, so I can get.
There you go. Now you're looking good.
Now I have legs, you know.
Too funny. Well, thanks for joining us this morning, Alfred. I do appreciate your time. I know it's a Saturday, and you don't normally come in or join up with us, but we do appreciate it. Just want to ask you a few questions. I know Plexus was kind of your baby getting this started, and I love hearing you tell all about that and everything. But tell me why you set up our compensation plan the way that you did.
Well, you have to back up. When I approached Tarl, and he's a very financially successful young businessman, I said, I've got an opportunity to buy Plexus, and I just need the money to make this work. We've both been in the same network marketing company. We know one another. But I said, here's kind of where I'm coming from. I want to see if we can do network marketing as it could be done and should be done. But looking out at the industry, I don't think it's, well, if there's somebody doing it, I don't know where they are. We truly love network marketing and think it's a great industry. But the way it's been run, you know, it's like a tad sometimes above used car sales used to be, and people refer to it, you know, oh, another one of them pyramid schemes, you know, you've heard of it. So there's nothing wrong with a pyramid, by the way. A pyramid is just a distribution shape. I mean, if you look at a school, there's the most un-business-like thing you could think of, but it's got one principal. It maybe has a couple of vice principals, then it has a staff, then it has the teachers. It might have an advisory of a PTA, but it takes this pyramid shape. And so we're sold on it. Now the thing was, we had to raise the dignity and the quality of this whole thing, and it had to start with the comp plan. So let me tell you what is tradition in network marketing. Were you at the convention last year?
I was.
Okay. Well, I stood on stage and I said, you know, I'm not supposed to be doing that. Not that that's ever stopped me. But I said, I wonder if you'd do something for me. We have about 2,500 people in the audience. I said, if you are making $500 or more a month from Plexus, would you stand and remain standing? I want to tell you, it literally brought tears to my eyes. I don't know if anybody was watching me. I was wiping back the tears because I was just blown away. And we had 2,100 people standing up saying, yep, I make $500 or more a month from Plexus. Now, why was that important? The previous company that the one that I met Tarl at, and the one that I met Alec at. Alec was on the inside of that company. Like, he was not a distributor. Alec was part of the corporate team there. And they did a survey one day. They had about 150,000 plus distributors. The top distributor was making $400,000 a month. He used to brag that he made more money in 1 month than the President of the United States did in a year. So they wanted to find out. My income at that time was about, because I was the top Canadian distributor, I think I was making about 37, somewhere in there, 35,000. And it was, you know, we're talking back in 1990s, and this was beyond my wildest dreams at the time. Anyway, they did a survey to find out the same, to ask the same question. how many people in our distributor base are making $500 or more. Do you know that the figure was less than 400?
Wow.
So you figure out we had about 50,000 distributors at that time when we had that convention. And they had at least 3, maybe 4 times as many people. And yet we literally blew them out of the water. And that is why Plexus is so strong right now, because we decided to do it right. Instead of paying the owners big fat, profits and all that kind of stuff, and paying a band of big dogs or heavy hitters or whatever you want to call them, outrageous sums of money, we have spread it out from top to bottom. Like if you're a diamond, you're making a damn good income. If you're a sapphire, you're making less, but you still know that making a good and it goes all the way down right to gold. I mean, people who are making gold can make some good money in the business, and that's why we designed the comp plan the way we did it. That was number one. We wanted to spread the income fairly. When we originally started, I think we were only down 5 levels. Why? Well, why would you want to go down 6, 7 levels if you didn't have anybody with an organization that big? And then after 7, well, I'm going to ask you, when you're the number 1 person and there's 7 levels below you, how much influence are you really having with 8 and 9? Now, I know some of the leaders have really put in a lot of work on that, but in general terms, the responsibility falls to the first 4 levels above 7 or 8, 9, and 10. So we cut it off at 7. The other thing, there were some other things we wanted to do. We wanted to stop the internal bickering and competition that goes on in companies. I mean, you could go to another network marketing company and you would be shocked, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you go there and whose group are you with? Oh, we're with Deborah Lawson. Oh, we don't go to the Deborah Lawson group. We're with the Sheila Medina group. So bye, And then Sheila would be putting on a meeting, and someone would say, "Can I come in here? Are you part of Sheila's group?" No, this is strictly for Sheila's people. We're giving secrets away how we want to build the business and build our business. I mean, how disgusting. I pointed out to Tarl that, I said, when you think about it, there's probably 2,000 network marketing companies in existence in North America at any one time. That animal you see in the background is my is my fiance's, what's he called, a golden doodle, and I decided to bring him into the office with me this morning, not realizing that he would be a star of stage, screen, and radio.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We won't let him steal the show too much.
So I said, look, there's enough competition. There's 2,000 companies always looking for experienced network marketers. So we don't need any competition inside the company. There's plenty of competition outside. So let's have it so that everybody, so there is no competition, and let's have it so that everybody benefits if everybody's skill level improves. I mean, right now, if everybody went the way the comp plan's set up, because of the points, which mean you get in on profit sharing. So if everybody buys $100 worth of PV every month, the company's not very profitable. And at $100 a month average, the pay points are going to be $1.80.
Right.
So if the average purchase is $200 a month, in other words, they've got more customers, they do greater volume themselves, the company's more profitable, guess what? The pay points get around 360. So it isn't some magical thing we've dreamed up, it actually works. So we wanted to make sure that with the comp plan that people had no incentive to do things on their own. They had only incentive to work as a team and to help everybody get better and better and better. Somebody in California could be cooking up a storm, and you could be sitting in Biloxi, Mississippi, and you could be winning big time because of their great efforts, because if they push the profits up, the points go up.
Right.
The other thing was, which I could never understand, is why they only allowed one distributorship, or ambassadorship in this case, per family. Why would you do that? We said, you know, like if a husband and wife want to build this separately or are allowed to, why don't we let it? So if you look at it, the way we've designed it, if a distributorship is represented by a circle, we really don't care what name is in that circle. All we have is one question. You know, are they in compliance? Have they done 100 PV for the month or more? And the answer is yes, fine, they're qualified. And so we knew it was important, but I want to tell you, I didn't realize how important it was until the last convention. I went out in the hall and I started asking people. I said, I could go look this up, but save me the time trouble. How much money did you make from Plexus last month? And the first answer I got surprised me. My husband and I made $5,700 last month. I didn't say anything. I said, oh, that's good. But I walked away saying, isn't that interesting? I asked her how much she made, and she told me how much her husband and she made. Do you know, I asked 6 more people, a total of 7 on the break. Nobody gave me their sales. They always gave the family, you know, what husband and wife had made. And I thought, wow, this is far more valuable than I thought, because it's allowing the family to make more money quickly out the gate. It's allowing one of them to maybe quit a terrible job they just do to put money on the table, and now they're able to do Plexus full-time and grow their business even faster. So those are some of the thoughts behind it. I mean, if there's anything specifically you want to ask, those were the goals going in, and we just wanted to make sure that well, let me give you one last one, which was, there is a certain way to build the business successfully and solidly. And so if you look at the plan, we reward you for building it right. Mm-hmm. When we originally, I'll give you an example. When we originally started out, if you brought in someone on the $200 welcome pack, you got $100. Right. And we had one guy come on board, and he thought this was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and so he would just sponsor somebody, got $100. Wow! Sponsor somebody else, got $100. Wow! So he was trying to see if he could sponsor 20 and 30 people a week, and we went, uh-oh, this is not how to build a business. Because you and I know there's no point in sponsoring somebody in this business. You do them a disservice, and you do yourself a disservice, unless you teach them to do what you've been doing. In other words, they can duplicate you. So the real work is not in sponsoring somebody. The real work is in coaching them and teaching them and supporting them so they can do exactly what you do. So we thought, how are we going to fix this up? So we said, okay, the 4 people above should have some help. So we go $50 on a $200 pack, 25, 15, and 10. And by doing it that way, we spread that out and showed the importance of working as a team to bring in new people.
Right. Which I think is a great thing that you guys did, so that, you know, we all have that incentive to help everybody get down the road and get what they're supposed to do. What was the significance in keeping the low monthly qualifications for you guys?
What do you mean low monthly qualification?
I mean, $100 is low for most of the companies. You know, our auto qualification is only $100. I've never been in anything else, so I can't say that I know very much, but I know I've heard that so many are much higher than that.
Yeah, I've heard of 1,000. I've heard of a couple of companies that are up about 2,000 a month. Otherwise, and you have to have so many people personally sponsored on your front line.
Yeah. I guess maybe what I'm trying to ask you is, you mentioned you had on Super Saturday stuff, about windfall
Windfall
profits.
profits, yeah.
Yes. I know that was something that I had never heard of, not being from the industry, and it was kind of interesting to me. So can you maybe explain that, how we're different in this case from that?
Well, let's see, how can I do this? One of the things that happens is, if in every other company, if the distributors haven't earned the money, the company gets to keep it. See?
Gotcha.
And so it's a real temptation for a greedy set of owners to keep trying to figure out ways to chisel out things, and they love it when there's a windfall profit. Now, the biggest one, when we first took over this company, it had what is called a binary, and you'll hear about those programs. You sponsor two, and they sponsor two, and you get two legs going, and we pay you volume on every week on both legs. Well, what they don't tell you is that they pay you on the lowest of the legs. They'll pay, and so you could have $100,000 volume in one and $10,000 volume in the other, and so they might allow you 50% more of your lowest volume. So you might get paid on $15,000 on both legs. Okay, let's go over to this $100,000 leg. Last time I counted, you go 100%, you take off 15%, which is what you're going to pay them. There's 85% sitting there. What happened to it? Yay, says the company, a windfall profit. That's our money, ha ha. But we'll tell them we'll bank it, and we'll do this with it. You never see it. You never see it. It's just a false promise that never gets delivered on. Well, we weren't about to do that. So when we designed the plan, we drew a line in the sand. Okay, we're going to take the PV that's generated every month. Half goes to them, half goes to us. And we're not going to ever try and take away. Let me tell you, for instance, if you notice, and I don't have the numbers at the top of my head, but when you get a moment, go look at the pricing of any one of our products. We have three prices, right? We have a retail price, we have a preferred customer price, and we have the wholesale price, or the ambassador price.
Right.
Each one of them has a different PV, point value. Now, if we wanted to get windfall profits, we'd only have one. We would have the lowest.
Yeah.
So if a retail customer came on, wow, we're making lots of extra money, because it's not going to the ambassadors. They're only getting paid off the actual PV. Am I making myself clear?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So there are a number of ways a company can, quote, cheat and put money in their pocket. And we just don't want to have any part of that. And at first, when we said we were going to make a change to the comp plan, I mean, it sent a shock wave.
Yes.
Through the company. Oh my God, the Chicken Little, the sky is falling. And we said, no, you're just going to learn to trust that the amount of money you're getting paid is never going to change. We might add something to it, but we aren't taking it away. Because we're quite happy to take our 50% of the PV and make things work, and we want to just give the ambassador. So we consider you guys our partners. And why would you want to cheat your partner? I mean, what would be the point of that? So we want to make sure you got every dollar coming to you can. So if it sells at retail, we get more money, you should get more money. If it sells it as a preferred customer, it's a little better than wholesale, and we make some more money, so you guys should make some more money. And that's the way we've done it.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate that. I can tell you that I'm getting some pretty good paychecks from the company, so I love it. Well, tell me this. I know that a couple of years ago, we had done $360,000 in a year, and we have just grown and grown, and this year we have seen record numbers. Have you guys seen any final numbers or anything exciting you want to share with us?
Well, I think in December, we had our best month. It was around $24 million in sales for a single month, and we'll break that in January.
Yeah, I'm sure we will, being that it's a diet month.
Well, it's amazing. January is a very strange month. Everyone thinks it's going to start off like a rocket, but here's my theory on it. First, people are broke. They've gone through Christmas, and they're looking at their credit card, and it's the, oh my God, did I spend that much on a credit? Oh, I forgot about the dinner out. I forgot this, you know. Some people are dropping by, so you run out and you get some liquid refreshments or you get some extra food, and you throw it on the credit card in a hurry, but you forget it was there. So people go in through a credit card shock in January. So they aren't as anxious to spend money. Secondly, I believe that people, they get weighed by the big advertisement on TV, and so they're going to go to, they're going to try Weight Watchers, or they're going to try Jenny Craig or some other thing. And sometimes it takes them a month or so to figure out, wow, this really does cost a lot of money, or I don't want to live like this for the rest of my life, or I don't really like all this food that keeps coming to my doorstep every week, you know, and I'm going to try something new. Or one of their friends has gone with Plexus, lost some weight, and said, okay, sister, what is it you're doing that you haven't told me? So I think that where we're really going to see it take off is in the next 3 months, February, March, and April. So we should be flying high going into convention.
I'm excited about it. Now, we've also seen record growth in ambassadors. What were our numbers like last year in 2013 compared to the year before?
I always try to be as honest. I'm going to be like customer service should be right now. They're working hard to be. I just don't have those numbers in front of me. Tarl is very good with that kind of stuff, and I leave it to him. I know we're over 100,000 distributors right now, but again, ambassadors, you know, there's one thing. Somebody said, I've got 20 years experience, and that's their big claim to fame. But really, when you look at it, you say, no, you've got 1 year's experience that you repeated 19 times.
Right.
So we can have 100,000 ambassadors, and that's not the question. The question is, how many are being effective? How many are bringing people in on a regular basis and coaching them so that they can enjoy the success that they're enjoying? And that's, so the number of ambassadors is impressive, and you can draw some averages off of that. But the key thing about it is how many are really working effectively and are productive as ambassadors.
Well, let me ask you this. We hear so many ambassadors promote getting, you know, into ambassadorship just to get the product wholesale. And I have heard that given as a way to do it, and then the other side of it is that it brings down our points value. Tell us what your opinion is on that.
Oh, wow. You're getting double your money here. You sneak 2 questions into one. So
that's why I'm getting paid the big bucks.
Yeah, oh, yeah, right. And dragging me in on a Saturday. Yeah, make sure you wear something funny at conventions so I can pick you out of a crowd.
Okay.
Ask the questions again, because I'm trying to figure out how best to answer. Just let me hear what you want me to respond to.
Compared, getting somebody to buy preferred compared to wholesale, getting them in as an ambassador, how does that affect our pay points? Which would be the best way to talk to somebody about that? I mean, I've heard some people say that if you just get them in at wholesale, they're only doing their not even their minimum every month, or if they just do their minimum, like you said earlier, the $100 keeps pay points down to $180. If they're
no, you see, because here's the thing, what we do at the end of the month, we take the total PV, okay, and then we add up the total number of points earned. We divide it through into the 50% of that, and that gives us our point value. Do you follow that?
Yep.
Okay. So, in my opinion, somebody that signs up to buy it at a lower rate, I'm going, and then they don't qualify to earn a check, I'm going, yahoo, that's more money into the pot. Because they did volume, but they didn't get any points for it, so so they don't have any points reducing the amount of the pay points. Do you follow? Am I making that clear?
Yeah, that makes total sense. I agree with that.
I understand people do this to save a buck, and that's all good. And some people use it as a lazy way to get people into the business. Some people find it an effective way to get in the business. But the business is proving itself to be so much fun. It's so easy to do, and paying off so well. I think somebody who just is short-sighted and is only thinking about coming into the business to buy the products cheap, well, that's the first step. But I wouldn't let that one sit around for too long. I'd be talking to them and talking to them and talking to them. That's sort of like planting a seed. Now it's in the ground. Well, let's go water this. Throw a little fertilizer. I don't know. Let's get a sun lamp on this to make sure this thing grows. If you leave it, that's the way they're going to stay. And they think, oh, I'm in Plexus. I'm signed up as ambassador, so I get the product wholesale. Aren't I neat? No, you're stupid. There's a whole opportunity out there. You could get your product for free. For free? Yeah. What if you made $300 a month? Oh, you could use that to buy your product. So where's your great bargain? The best bargain of all is when you have more money coming in every month than you need to buy your products.
That's very true. Very true. I like the way you told us that, Alfred. That's very good. That should clear it up for some people. Now, let me ask you this. I'm gonna try to get something out of you. You got any announcements that you can give us? Any little tidbits for those of us who are spending our Saturday here?
Christy, what did you tell her after 20 minutes? What does my rate go up to? Is it $500 an hour, and does that come out of her check personally? How does this work?
$750. Yes.
Yeah, $750, and the lunch I'm going to require is.
Okay, so I'm getting nothing from you.
No, I can tell you this, that we got a huge response, thumbs up for the chocolate 96. Everybody that's tried it just loved it, and so we're working very hard to try and get that available, and I'm just not exactly sure what the announcement is there, but we're coming along, and other than that, we're doing some drum rolls coming up to the convention, but we want to make sure we have all our ducks in place.
That's good.
So I don't have anything exciting. I mean, we aren't making any changes to the comp plan. We aren't adding a new position, but it's all going very well. You're allowed to smile. The lovely lady that just joined us there, she just looked. There we are. We got a smile.
That's Dr. Miranda there.
Dr. Miranda, how are you? Good morning.
Thanks for all of that, Alfred. I'm excited about the chocolate. I really liked it as well. I am a big 96 fan, so chocolate and vanilla to choose from makes my day better. How about one more thing, and then I'm going to let you go. You have addressed in the past not prejudging anybody when you're out there prospecting or what have you. Give us all those new ambassadors, a little tidbit of your knowledge on that.
Well, I don't think you prejudge anybody, but what you do before you start asking the hard questions is in, and it's all in the article on permission marketing in your success guide. And permission marketing is one of, if I had my way, that's what I'd call what we do, is permission marketing. So here's my advice. You say, oh, that guy doesn't look like he could afford it. He wouldn't be interested in it, or she wouldn't want it, or she's too thin, whatever, her husband happens to be 70 pounds overweight, but she's too thin. So you don't approach her. So here's the thing, is to ask questions and find out about this person. I mean, you're going to enter into a relationship with this person if they sign up with you. Let me tell you something that'll put this in perspective. It is easier to get a divorce in the United States than it is to get rid of someone who you've personally sponsored.
Amen.
So you see how long you have you go out on a few dates, and then maybe you get engaged, and you have look at it for a year, and then you set the wedding date. But here, you're standing at a party. Hey, can I talk to you sometime about a great business opportunity? Blah, 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 blah. Well, you don't know what they're interested in. And there's two reasons why that's a problem. It's rude. It's a very rude way to do the business. It doesn't help the business. But here's what I find is wrong. If you'll ask the questions, and if you'll let them talk, they will give you everything you need to make a proper presentation to them. Like, you'll sit there and you're having coffee with somebody, and you're thinking, oh, darn, I'd love to get her in the business or him in the business. Oh, this would be so exciting. Well, I should just flat out ask them. But if you're having a conversation with them and you're just patient, and you can even ask a lead question, so how are your retirement plans? And they'll go, oh, don't talk to me about retirement plans. My wife and I were sitting down figuring out the other day, we don't know what we're going to do when we retire. We cannot make ends meet, and we're both drawing a full income. When we go on into retirement, I'm going to drop to 35% of what I was making, and she's about the same. So what are we going to do? We just figure out we're going to have to cut back our lifestyle, we're going to have to keep on working or something like that. Well, what an opening. So here's the mistake a novice ambassador would make. Have I got a deal for you I can solve? No, you haven't asked enough questions. Well, have you sought advice of a financial counselor? No. When you retire, have you thought about what you're going to do in terms of work? I'm not I've seen a lot of people in the same position. You see, you start asking a bunch of questions, finally said, I really don't have an answer. It worries us sick. We don't even like to talk about it. It's such a dicey issue around the house. And then you can quietly say, without any pressure, I was shown a program that might just be of real help to you, that would provide you with money between now and when you retire, and then probably enough money to allow you to retire, without having to step back on your lifestyle. Now here it is again. Would you be interested in hearing about it? Well, what's it all about? Well, it takes me about 10 minutes to explain. When would you have 10 minutes about it? You see how I am, you got to remember the little kid, he's got the bamboo pole, little line, and a little cork, and he's got a worm in the end of a hook, and he's sitting there. Not I'm suggesting you're trying to hook anybody, but if you watch the new person, as soon as they see anything happen, they go like this, and they pull the rod back, and the cork goes flying, and hooks are flying. But if you just move it along the water a little bit, and then stop, and then move it a little, they chase the information. You don't have enough information to make a proper presentation. And if you can't make a proper presentation, then two things are wrong. One, you're wasting your time, and you're costing them maybe a proper look at a very, very good opportunity.
Very good. I love, love, love to hear you explain that, and I think it's very key for especially new ambassadors that don't know anything about the business to know that you just can't jump on people, and attack them from the beginning.
You don't have permission. The greatest compliment I had when I was, I got to be one of the top distributors in Canada for my company, and somebody says, "Oh yeah, you're sitting up at the top there, and you don't have to work," which was true, but I was still working. And they said, "You don't recruit anymore." And I said to them, which shocked the whole audience, I said, "Thank you very much." "What?" "Well, thank you for that compliment." And they kind of looked at me, and I said, "Do you know that I'm recruiting all the time? But I never want it to be obvious to anyone that I'm recruiting. How do you do that?" So I went into this whole thing about asking questions. And unless somebody tells me, gives me makes the statement, "Boy, if I don't get some weight off this year, it seems like I'm putting 5 pounds on every Christmas. And if I don't get this damn weight off, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm already gone from a 38 to a 44 pant size. It's just ridiculous, And then you ask them about, well, have they tried anything? "Oh, I've tried every damn thing." Well, what have you tried? But most novices will leap in and say, "Have I got a deal for you? Here, try this drink." Hey, and sometimes it works. That's the mislead.
Right.
That you do something badly, and it still works. Somebody said you can't say the right thing. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and there's a certain amount of truth in that. But it's so much better if you just take the time and make everything rock solid. I would sooner, it's the same with sponsorship. I would sooner someone say, "I sponsored one person this week, and already I've helped them go silver."
Yes.
Then somebody come to me, "Wow, am I ever cooking? I sponsored 10 people this week." And I go in my head, I'm totally unimpressed unless you tell me how many of the 10 can go silver in the next 2 weeks. Because if you haven't shown them how to do that, then you did them and yourself a disservice.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Alfred, I'm not going to take any more of your time because I can't afford your hourly rate. But I do want, if you got a bill, send it to Brent French. You've got his email and everything. I'm sure you can get in touch with him.
All right. Well, this has been fun and very interesting. I have never done. What is this called?
It's called a Hangout.
Yeah, no, but what's this technology called?
It's a Google Hangout. It's a virtual chat, basically.
What do you mean? We weren't really chatting? Is that what you said?
We were virtually chatting.
You were virtually chatting, but we really weren't. I see. Like you could probably make money at this concept, but it's just it's not really real.
I know I can make money with this comp plan. I am making money with it. Okay, tell me one more thing. The doggy with you, what's his name or her name?
Leo.
Leo. Okay, everybody.
My fiance is a Leo. July 26th. I'm July 30th. Leo arrived in between there, so we thought, you know what? We got a name for him.
Very cool. Well, okay, here's the deal, everybody. Hashtag Leo. We're going to make it go viral today. So y'all do that. Thanks again, Alfred, for being with us. We will see you maybe on the next one. If not, I will see you at convention.
Super. Thank you. Well, I'm going to be doing a road tour.
Oh.
And so is Alex. So is Charles. So be watching for the cities as Alec lays them out. I know he's got this wonderful map in his office with all these stick pins, and then he draws puts a string around one and then goes up like, I said, "What's that?" "That's where you're going to be going."
Well, cool. Well, we hope one of y'all come back to Pensacola. We enjoy having y'all in our area, so hopefully y'all will make it here. We look forward to seeing that announcement. You did give us a little tidbit there. Yeah,
well, the main thing is when I come down there, I got to practice up because I just don't say y'all the way you do. It just kind of rolls off your tongue really well, so I got to get practicing.
Okay.
Good luck with the rest of your program here.
Thanks. And tell Christy we said thanks to you for coming in on her Saturday off.
She's patiently waiting to make sure we didn't screw up somehow.
Okay. Bye. Have a great weekend.
Bye for now.
All right, guys. Well, that was our international president, Alfred Pettersen, for those of you who are not involved strictly with Plexus. And he gave us some great insight on how the company is run and how it is how they came up with a compensation plan and everything. So I hope that everybody got a lot out of that. I love talking with Alfred. He is a hoot.